What's the point of the technology if you can't use it in situations like this? It's good to sleep on stuff. First of all, that's actually good to sleep on. I need to be doing a lot more sleeping, but it's good to sleep on stuff because now you can reflect. Because see, the thing about doing the post-match analysis is that I've got to do it immediately afterwards. So I don't really have much time to take in events that have happened during a game and so forth, because it's sort of like whenever I watch a film, I don't really like reviewing a film after I've watched it just once. I like to review a film and watch it twice or three times, unless the film is total garbage, where I can only give you an assessment of how garbage the film is. So it's always good to rest and stay with something. And I think you look at the situation again, because I've now watched the Sterling incident several times. I watched it again and again and again and again. And this is what I've always said and I've been consistent with. A penalty is a big decision to make, because penalties, there's a 60 to 70% chance of you scoring. I think there's like an 80% of you scoring because a keeper has to think, are you going to go bottom left, bottom right, straight to the middle, or into the roof of the net? So the numbers heavily favor the player, unless you're Higuain or Olmo or Depol, who pretty much put it over to freaking Venus. So my mandate is that if I was a referee, I'm only giving a penalty if it is a full-on 100% clear foul. Unless it's a clear foul, then I'm going to give the penalty. If not, and I look at that Sterling challenge, that is too much to give a penalty for, especially in the magnitude of the game. You cannot give a penalty for that. It's too soft. Because see, 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2. People say, if it's a foul, it's a foul. So if, let's say, that foul was done, let's say, in the middle of the pitch, maybe they give it. So they say, if it's given in the middle of the pitch, shouldn't it be given in the penalty box? It doesn't work like that. For me, a foul that, as a referee, and how I feel it should happen is, okay, you can give a foul here, then it'll be soft in the middle of the pitch. In the penalty box, no. It's going to be a real foul. Not in any show, it's going to be a real foul. Sterling is not I have to reiterate this, and I still believe that Sterling is not the villain here. It is the use of VAR and the referees who screwed up. Because Sterling is playing the game. That's how the game is played. Of course, we're hypocritical, 100%. For English fans, of course, they're being hypocrites, because they still hate on Maradona and clown on Maradona for pretty much doing the same thing, which is being clever. It's not cheating, it's playing the game and being clever. Cheating is if you take drugs, you take steroids, so that's cheating. This is just you're being clever, and it's up to the referee and the laws that be to try and rectify that error. Because I said again, is that like the failure of this is the technology exists. So, because I told you, I had to watch ESPN FC, I had to go onto websites, I had to go onto Twitter, I had to go to football websites, look at what other football journalists were saying online. And then there's this whole thing of clear and obvious error, clear and obvious mistake. That if it's not clear and obvious, you don't go to VAR. My thing is, how did the people in the booth look at that and then say to themselves that, bro, you shouldn't look at this again? Because here's the thing. The angle I saw, which was from behind Sterling, it looked like contact. But obviously, I know what Sterling did, because Sterling was like, at the moment he felt something, he went down, which is clever. People can call it cheating and so forth. What Maradona did for the hand of God, that's clever. What the cannibal Suarez did for Uruguay, that's clever. And 100%, if you're the opposing team, you should be angry. 100% you should be angry. But you should understand that this is just how the game works. But your anger should be on the referees and VAR, because the referee should have looked and said, wait a minute, that you cannot give that. European Championships, semi-final, extra time, when there's just only 30 minutes to go, that is a monumental decision. And that is just why it's aggravating, because you're like, it is such a huge decision, and to give a penalty for that of a game of this magnitude is insane. It's insane. You have to, because if the referee was told, go to the monitor now, the referee could have viewed that and still given it. I strongly doubt if the referee saw that in slow motion, knowing the magnitude of the game and knowing what it would mean to give a penalty, he would have been like, it's inconclusive. There's not a clear and obvious foul, because the moment you look at one angle from the side, there's no contact. One angle from behind him, there's a little bit of contact, but is there really? Does he put his leg there? The moment you see that, you're like, you can't give it. Because if you're now questioning whether there was a contact, there's no contact, don't give it. You only give it where, no, I am fully 100% sure that there was contact given. That contact was there. So, and the thing is that, what was the point of VAR? The point of VAR is football is a very fast-moving sport, and the referees and linesmen have an extremely hard job to do, which is to make pretty much split-second decisions, huge decisions that could alter a game. So for referees before VAR, referees had an almost impossible job, because it's very easy for us sitting on our couch, viewing instant replays, viewing it 3 times and 4 times. The referees don't have. The referee, all they have, first of all, is their field of view, no instant replays, and they have to make a decision right there, which is why it is crazy, which is why you look at American sports, they say, wait a minute, guys, or even rugby, like, wait a minute, the tech exists. There is only so much the human eye can do. You can't go to the monitor, because the issue is, we obviously want football to move swiftly, go swiftly, and so forth. But here's the thing. Before VAR, the referee would have given that penalty 100%. He wouldn't have thought, boom, penalty, boom. And you wouldn't blame him. If the referee gave that penalty without the use of VAR, you can insult the referee all you want. From his field of view, where he was looking at, it looked like a foul. If you stood where the referee was, you would have given that as a foul, because it looked like a foul from where he was. But because we have the technology where, I understand where your field of view is and everything, but hey, you can take your time. Be sure. Be fully sure. Because this is the crazy thing. You have to interpret the situation. You see, the issue with these referees and so forth is they are slaves to the law, and they're slaves to how to do it. Because like, okay, well, if it's not a clear and obvious mistake, you don't need to look if there's a penalty. No. That's not how it works. You have to interpret this situation. This isn't an EPL midweek game. This isn't a Carling Cup game. This is not a preseason game. This is the European Championships semi-final, first of extra time, with so much at stake. Something like that, the person in the booth should say, bro, get your ass to the freaking monitor and be 200% sure about the decision. Because I am not advising you that this is a clear novel. Because that's crazy. If he was told in the booth that, no, you don't need to look, that it's obviously a penalty, that's insane. That's insane. That's what I said, oh, was Queen Lizzie in the booth or something? No, you should say, no, this is so big, go to the monitor. Again, if the referee could have gone to the monitor and still given the penalty, but at the very least, then we have a different conversation. Because if the referee went to the monitor, viewed this and said, I believe it's a penalty, it's on the ref. Then that's the ref's discretion. Because people are just assuming that, oh, no way, no, it could have not been given, it's a penalty. You don't know how the ref would have viewed it. Because that was another point that was being made. I think it was Jermaine Genius that made the point that we're just assuming that, oh, no penalty, no penalty. That's, people view things differently. Hence why there are different referees who view that this is a foul, this isn't a foul. This is dangerous play, this isn't a dangerous play, because it is, the referees are not robots. They're human beings where one referee sees one thing another way, one referee sees a thing another way. But it was unfortunate that it had to end like that, because for a game like that, you want it to be dubious, contentious. You don't want that kind of stuff. But look, if you're England, you see, from England's point of view, they've been on the receiving ends of these things for so long, because how it's supposed to go for England is, no, the opposing team should have that dubious penalty, they receive it, and then they now go on and on about it. So everything in reverse has been happening for England. So it's like, wow, things are now flipped side. But if you're Denmark, 100% you should be pissed off, you should be angry. But I think if you want to go deeper into it, it goes back to football. Sterling created this situation and forced the referee to make a decision. You see, like, football is a lot more complicated than, hey, play, pass. It's about being clever. It's about doing whatever you can to make something happen, to make a win. So I have to reiterate this, that if I told you, people say, oh, if it was Christian, if it was Kenu, and I would have been like, you see, this is not if this was like an EPL game, then we're like, wow, it's a dive. European Championship semi for your country and your nation, by any means necessary. By any means necessary. Because if it was Nigeria, bro, I'm doing everything in my power. I'm doing everything in my power, but the key thing is this: it's not about Sterling. The technology exists as to where that should not be an issue. So who should you really be blaming here? Sterling for being clever, or the bombs in the booth who didn't tell the referee that European Championship semi, I don't want to tell you that this is clear. Go to the freaking monitor that's only 2 yards away from you and view that freaking screen and be 500% sure. What's the point of the technology if you can't use it in situations like this? Become a Patreon member. Get access to exclusive videos and also get access to the podcast, to the Saturday and the Sunday hangouts. Head over to patreon.com/halfwop to gain all these goodies while also supporting your boy HH.